to record, so we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome, everybody, to the monthly, we do this every month, Amaretto community meeting. Now, we have this the last Tuesday of every month, so you can mark your calendar, right? You don't have to remember the dates or anything. Just, oh, it's the last Tuesday. I know it's today. All right. Today up here with me, I have the owner of Amaretto, Josie Cooperstone, one of our scripters, TM Zos Luminos, and two of our designers, Chronic Stonage and Umbra Penumbra Nova. I am Avalon Crystal. I am the COO of Amaretto, and most of you guys know me, but I do see a couple white name tags. So let me be sure to give you guys a warm welcome. Is this anybody's first meeting, community meeting that they've been to? Maybe, maybe so, maybe no. Well, welcome, Davina and Remy, Reese, Liv, you guys. Okay, okay. So we have these meetings every month, and it's always the last Tuesday at 1 p.m. right here at this location. And we like to talk about what's going on with Amaretto, any events that we have going on, any kind of anything contests, qualified breedings, all that stuff. We talk about LEs, we talk about, and then we open up the floor to talk about what you guys want to talk about. So if you're having an issue or a problem, or you want to share something, it's a great way for us to just kind of keep our hands on the pulse of Amaretto and know what's going on with you guys. So we'd love to hear from you. The only rule is that we're going to be respectful. I'm going to be respectful to you. You're going to be respectful to me, and so on. We're going to have a wonderful meeting. There are quite a few things that I want to talk to you guys about. So let's go ahead and get this started. The first thing I want to talk about is qualified breeding. So we have a one qualified breeding for the horses this month, and it was breed together two tri-colored Clydesdales, right? Did anybody do that and get a surprise? Anybody here get a surprise? What did you get, Fairlease? Kels, what'd you get? Starry, what'd you get? A sea storm. All right. So if you don't know what comes from breeding two tricolored Clydesdales together, it is already on the wiki, so you can check them out there. You do have until Friday, right? Because the next qualifiers will start on Saturday at noon, right? And there's some beautiful tricolored Clydesdales. It's the Craze Coat tricolored Clydesdale. Which one is your favorite? I'm gotta say the Dawn Petal's probably my favorite. It's just so different, right? What is everybody's the Envy and the Blood Moon and Envy? Green and red. That's what you guys like. Green and red. Okay, so like I said, you have 4 more days, right? And these have the ability to pass. So you're going to start seeing them in the market and at auctions and people selling them because they got it and they want to sell it, or they're breeding it and they got another one and they want to share it. So keep your eyes out for that. We do have another breeding challenge for the horses, and it's breed together two fall leaves brandings. When you breed together two fall leaves branding, does anybody know what you can get? You can get a fall leaves aura, and that is on the wiki as well. So if you haven't seen that, take a look at that. That matches the branding really nicely. So you can kind of put some fall leaves traits together and make yourselves a lovely fall trendsetter horse, and of course put it on the trendsetter portion of our website. So the chickens currently have 3 breeding challenges, right? So it's breed 2 chickens with a purple ice eye. You could get the new orchid bow tie. If you haven't seen that, you can check that out there. The second one is breed 2 malachite legs to get a shamrock sweater. That is also on the wiki. You can check that on there. And our third breeding challenge is breed 2 Azure Favorolis to get, and that you can find a cobalt vest. So all of the chicken qualified, breeding challenges have been found. Let's move on to canines. Canines, we have breed 2 bandana noses together to get. Does anybody know what you can get? You can get a red paisley bandana. The second one is breed 2 loony like hot rods. You could get something special. It is a hot rod bandana. And third, breed any two into the wild canines together. You could get a lovely leopard bandana. So again, all of these challenges have been found, but they you can still breed for them if you really like any of those traits. Ponies, we have three breeding challenges as well. It's breed two snuggler cuddles together to get. You can get the cuddles bandana. The second challenge is breed two pink rose crave star goldens together, and you can get the pink rose bandana. And third and last, breed a murky wing to a milky wing to get a R bandana. All of those breeding challenges have been found as well. Ducks, we have two. It's breed two hardcore tails together. You could get a cobalt vest. So you can take a look at that. And the second challenge is breed together any two shamrock legs to get. And that has not been found. Yes. Oops. Sorry. I posted the first one again. Let me post the second one. Two shamrock legs together. That has not been found. So that's still a challenge. Then peafowls. We currently have three peafowl breeding challenges. Breeding two scarlet bow ties together, you could get yourself a cupright leg. That is on the wiki. Breed together two Java peafowl Kellys to get. You could get the Kelly sweater. Three, breed together two cerulean gem auras to get that cobalt vest. So that is all the current breeding challenges that we have ongoing as of right now today. So we have one on the duck that has not been found and everything else has been found. But that doesn't mean that we're ready to move on, right? How many of you guys would still like to breed and get some of these things because they're so new? Just because they've been found, that might mean one person found it or two people got it. But we're still going to continue forward with these challenges as of right now so that you guys can really have some time to breed and get these really cool traits. One great thing about the breeding challenges is that you can take what's been sitting in your inventory for, I don't know, years even, and breed them to get something new. The fall leaves aura is still ongoing as well. That will not be changing on the first. That's a breeding challenge, as the qualifiers is something that changes every month. Now, I did announce what the month of November qualifiers were going to be. Does anybody know what those were? Anybody been looking for them? That's right. It was Thanksgiving eyes. How many of you guys had some Thanksgiving eyes already, right? You got to have them already. So what's really cool about when we do an eye for a challenge is you can go right on that lineage. You can put that eye right into the search box and it pulls up all bundles that you have. I did receive a couple tickets where people were like, "Hey, I have 4 Thanksgiving eyes that I can't find. Can you send them back to me?" And I say, "Of course." And then I send them back and now they've got those qualified breedings. So who knows what that Thanksgiving eye could bring us? We don't know, right? But we'll have the entire month of November to figure it out. So that's a lot of breeding challenges to keep up with, and maybe another month, and we'll consider moving on from those. But like I said, right now, they're so new that people still want to get these. I do want to make a slight. I do want to make a quick announcement that ARU classes, guys, are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. and again Saturday at 11. If you have not graduated, if you have not went to all the ARU classes, they're super short. The teachers are super awesome. You never know, you can meet a breeding friend. It's just a really great environment that if I don't care if you've been breeding for 10 years or you've been breeding for 10 minutes, you can go to these classes, you can learn a little bit. We keep track of everything, what classes you've taken, what classes you get credit from. And when we get enough people to graduate, we're going to have an Amaretto graduation. That's always a lot of fun. We do a big party. There's caps and gowns and diplomas, and it's just a whole lot of fun. So we need some more graduates so that we can have a graduation. So if that's something you have not done, we won't make you wear a gown, Yogi. But if you haven't graduated, please consider going to some of those classes. Like I said, um, you never know what you might learn, right? So the second thing I have on my list is, guys, how's that web market working out for you guys? Everybody using that web market? Any issues? Any problems? Any? Do you guys who uses the web market? How many of you guys are listing your animals on the web market? And then how many of you guys are, maybe you're not listing, but that's your first go-to search when you want to find something to buy? Yeah, I really like buying that way. I don't have anything listed, but I like to go on there and say I need to find that new cobalt sweater. If anybody's got it, I can go in there, type in cobalt sweater, and if Mammy has one for sale and it's listed, I can TP right to it, buy it, and I'm done. That's the extent of my search. So, something else that I want to talk about is that right now, currently, voting is open for the Amaretto Fright Fest. If you're like, what the hell is Fright Fest? That is the decor contest, right? It's the second contest in the designer derby, and voting is open right now. I just did a connection on it, but if you haven't went over there and checked those out, guys, some really cool displays have been set up. Head over there after the meeting and go find your favorite and then cast your vote. Um, in addition to Fright Fest being open, I just announced the winners as well for the Halloweenies contest. I was so excited about Halloweenies. How many of you guys went over there and checked that out when I announced it the other day? Did anybody go over there? I was so excited because we had one peafowl, right? We had one chicken. I had two ponies, and then the rest were horses. So, no dogs, but there's always next year, guys. I would love that there would be enough of every animal that I could pick the best peafowl, the best chicken, the best canine. But I highlighted those that were submitted. All those people who submitted one of the smaller animals is going to receive a prize. However, the overall winner of the Halloweenies contest, I was so excited. This was entered by, I don't even know how you say this name. Fment 72 resident. Anyways, if you haven't checked out all the winners for that, and they just submitted a classic horse. It was like a mini white Tennessee Walker with bloody traits. It wasn't anything crazy. It was just nice and classic looking. So remember, guys, our anonymous judges vote on that and pick the winner. And if you haven't checked those winners out, please do so because there were some amazing entries. And I've continued the tradition of Halloweenies that has been going for a very, very long time. So I'm certainly glad that all you guys wanted to participate in that. Let me take a quick moment to remind everybody that if you have a suggestion, right? People say all the time, well, I wish Amaretto would make, or I wish the next horse was, or I wish they would make a da 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 da. I want to make sure that everybody here knows how to tell us what they want or they wish, right? So there's several different ways to do that. You can file a ticket and let us know. You can, two, post it on the forums. Three, you can drop a note card in the mailbox at the main store. Or four, you can talk to one of us personally, right? If you message one of us and have a conversation with us, you can let us know, right? And people I meet all the time and say, hey, you know what? I would love to see da 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 da. And I say, you know what? Let me add that to our suggestion list. We reference this list every time there's something new that we want to come up with, or we're working on traits, or even something for a qualified breeding or breeding challenge. And we take a lot of ideas right from you guys, right? So the more you tell us what you want, the more we're able to give it to you. So please do not be shy and timid in saying what you guys want, right? Um, so that is, the other big thing that we have right now is we have 2025 Halloween editions. I wanted to get some feedback on that Big Bad Wolf and that Little Red Riding Hood. What did you guys think about those? Did anybody pick those up? You like the Little Red Riding Hood? I knew you guys would like the Big Bad Wolf because it reminds me a lot of the Werehorse, and you guys really liked the Werehorse. Um, so let's just play what if, or could be or maybe, or what do you guys think is going to come from these? Anybody have any ideas? Horseshoes. A mini new shoes for socks. A mini, is that our only guess? Anybody else got a guess they want to give? Definitely not little pigs. Definitely not Steve. An aura, eyes. Okay. More peacock feathers. All right. Continue the fair. I didn't even think about that when we did this, but I guess this is a fairy tale. And we've done Alice in Wonderland kind of, right? So that goes right in. All right, so now I want to open up the floor. Like I said, we have Miss Josephine Cooperstone, the owner of Amaretto, TM Zoss, our scripter, and Chronic and Umbra, our designers, and me. And we should be able to answer any question you guys have. So, what do you guys want to talk about today? Anybody having any problems they want to talk about? Problems, praises, complaints, suggestions. We take them all. So don't be shy, guys. And I forgot to tell you, this is being recorded and will be posted to YouTube later so that people who could not attend today can go back and watch this. Add a custom name for the PFALs, okay? For the birds, can we have a custom name button thingy? All right, well, I can definitely put that on the suggestion list. You need more space sometimes. Need more feathered colors and have like a class of line. We have lots to come for the PFALs, I'll tell you that. You guys can feel free to mic up as well. I do promise, Mammy. I do promise. People have issues using the landmark on the web market. The landmark on the web market. Let me take a look.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. It's
There
like
was an
with
issue with it, and then I believe we fixed something to do with the landmarks. Is it happening recently?
it might be related to people still using the first version, I'm going to say.
Hmm.
For instance, in Petrichor store, the box is still the first version, not the 1.0. So it's the first one. I'm going to assume I had to come here to go get to the on the horse the new version.
Yeah, I don't know if TM, do you know off the top of your head if the version could be causing that problem or Um, this is what I'll tell you guys. If you find one that the teleport does not work on, flag it for me and do the report so I can investigate and see why that landmark's not working.
Okay.
Because I'll need to see an example so I can take it and be like, hey guys, this isn't working. There's no reason why this isn't working. So let me know. You guys just flag them.
Yeah, there could be something interfering on our end with that teleport link. As Ava said, when you see them, note them because every one that we catch just helps it just get better and better.
Yeah, so let me know. And I think when you flag them, there's a space to tell why you flag them. So you could just say TP didn't work. And I get those reports every day and I check them out and we'll get to the bottom of that. That's the first time I've been told that. And you guys can always, if you encounter an issue like that, you can always file a ticket or write me and be like, "Hey Ava, did you know?" Because half the time I probably didn't know. Anybody else having any other issues?
And if she's not here, I get them.
Anybody else having any other issues? I would say the biggest issue that I've seen recently is I guess you guys are being some prim hogs because I'm seeing a lot of, hey, I went to birth my bundle, but I'm out of prims, so now my bundle's broken. Um, if you ever encounter a bundle that says birthing, right, and it's still a bundle, and you're like, it's not birthed, Those bundles will need to have a ticket filed for them. Something else I wanted to mention to you guys, I've seen quite a few recently broken auras, right? And what I mean by broken aura is it doesn't look like it does on the wiki or doesn't look how it used to look, right? So we are very aware of what's causing these auras to break and how that's happening. And let me just tell you guys, you have two choices. You can absolutely file a ticket and I'll fix your aura. However, don't do that while it's pregnant. Two, you don't have to get it fixed. It can look really funky, but it's still going to function properly. And that doesn't mean that the babies will look the same way. So if you didn't want to be hassled with filing a ticket, totally up to you. So whether you get them fixed or not is to your whichever you want to do. That is going to be addressed in the horse update and will no longer be an issue. But until we get there, guys, this is something that we're just going to have to deal with. I can tell you guys, any horse that gets sick with an aura after it gets well again probably doesn't look exactly right. I know that's one instance of how auras are breaking. An ETA on the update, I don't have an ETA that I could give you, even if I had one to give you. I can tell you that every day, everybody who's sitting on this stage is working hard on that update. I talked to you guys several times, and hopefully Josie doesn't kick me underneath my chair. I've talked to you guys several times about us changing racing and horse racing. And so we have been focusing on that recently. Not that we're not doing a bunch of other stuff. You guys know that we've been working on our mesh horse, and we showed you that on our birthday. And things are moving nicely with that. Um, but if anybody had any feedback that they wanted to give us on racing, now is the time. As you guys know, there was ABC horses that ceased to exist, and when I was talking with ABC breeders, the number one thing they said the reason why they chose ABC over Amaretto was the horse racing, because the artwork of our animals is top notch, right? I know I'm biased, but I'd be like, why would you? And that's what they said. It was the racing. So, can you do two separate updates for? No, it will be all at once because when we implement stuff, and that's not going to make it take any longer, Chloe, the racing versus not racing, um, because they're being done at the same time. There's artwork going on over here. There's racing going on over here. There's somebody who's working on something else over here. We all kind of work together. We come together and we put it all together, and that's what we get. So, any thoughts, any ideas on any of that? Is the Animesh horse separate from the other horses? What do you mean, Beatrice? Yes, it will be different than the horses you have now. It'll be an Animesh horse. The horses you have now are not going to update to Animesh. There will be new Animesh horses. So you're not going to be able to take your favorite Ellie from 12 years ago and update it to Animesh. That would take us literally years and years to do something like that. So it will be something new.
But at the same time, there are some interactions between them that will happen.
My suggestion for the November qualifiers is a happy Thanksgiving aura or a gravy face marking. A gravy face marking would be cute. Excuse me. Yeah, a lot of things are going to work together, like Tian was saying. And it'll be pretty cool. I think. I'm excited. And I know my PFAL breeders are like, we want more PFALs, and you got more PFALs with the LEs, right? Because there was an LE PFAL, so who knows what you might get from those. I'll just say, you're, if you haven't bought any Halloween LEs yet, You have until November 4th. You have literally a week. So you're gonna feel really bad if you didn't get them. Turkey Pfel. What is it called? A Tudurkin? That's the turkey duck. What? You guys know what I'm talking about? I can just be
Yes,
crazy
the
by
the
myself.
ones inside the others and blah blah.
Tudurkin, yes. Duck, chicken, turkey, however that works.
Duckin.
Tudurkin. Anybody else have anything, any questions you guys want to ask? Any suggestions you want to give?
I have a suggestion.
Sure.
You're gonna kill me, but I have a suggestion.
Sure.
You know the thing that people never, and I know you all say and you all teach, change your name on your bundles, change your name on your nest, change your name on your kennels, and you know that, right? But most people don't. And then to look for one, or even to go to the web market. People didn't change the name, so there's a lot of Amaretto horses. There's a lot Amaretto, a lot of peafowls out there without any description. If it is something that is not the breed or the eye, we won't be able to find it, right? I know that cannot be changed by now, but my idea is how about if you reward them in a way that if they change the name, for instance, that they get one extra point on points when they send away. I don't know, something that actually make people change their names on the bundles. I don't know. I try to tell them and explain to my patrons all the time, if you change the name, if you lose the bundle, it's easier for whoever answers your ticket to um, find exactly what you are looking for. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
something like that.
I think
Like
that's an
adding 1 point or 2 points, like an
yeah,
incentive.
I think that's an interesting idea. We'll have to talk with TM and see if that's possible. Maybe when you haven something, if it's named, you get more points or something like that. Or, yeah, that's an interesting idea. Also, I mean, I want to explain the situation to you guys. Okay, Kelly files a ticket and says, "Ava, I lost my favorite horse." And I say, "Oh, no problem. Give me some more info. What was the name of the UUID of your favorite horse?" And she goes, "It wasn't named, and I don't have the UUID." And I say, "Okay, okay, no problem, Kelly. Tell me what you do remember about the horse." And Kelly says, "It was a horse, and it was a black walker." So I go and I look at all of Kelly's horses. Kelly has 372 black walkers. And I say, "Okay, Kelly, 372 black walkers. What else do you remember about the horse?" "Well, it had an eye." "Well, I every horse has an eye, Kelly, but what? I don't remember. It was my favorite horse and I can't find it. Why can't you find it? Why don't you know?" That is exactly what happens in a ticket. So even if you just number your horses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you look at all your horses and you see 4 and you see 6 and you don't see 5, you know exactly what's missing. And you know exactly to go to Ava and be like, "Hey, Ava, I lost a horse. Its name is 5." And I can go, and as long as you don't have 372 horses named 5, we're going to be able to find your horse real quick. Right? So, and now it should be even easier because you guys have the lineage tools that you should be able to go find a UUID of any horse you own, right? Um, so over 15, 16 years, I've gotten pretty creative about finding horses. Okay, Kelly doesn't know the eye, but she knows that it was over at Sirens. So I know what sim it was on. Well, you only have 102 horses at Siren. So let's take those out of those 102, maybe only 50 of them are black walkers. Okay, was it male or female? I think it was a girl. All right, now we have to get, and I can drill it down and we can get really close. But it's so much easier if you guys do name stuff. I promise you. Yeah. Well, the difference me not naming my bundles, I'm not going to be devastated if I lose one, right? So, that's why it's so important, you guys. That really is why it's important. And that's a great suggestion, Mammy. I will definitely talk with the team.
Hey, Ava,
Yes.
can I go back on the market for a minute? The web
Sure.
market. So the problem that I was having, and it might be the same for some of the others, is the click spot don't line up over the icon, and so I have to click around the page like an inch or so away from it to
Are you
get it to
talking
work.
about on an actual listing page?
Yeah, when you click on the horse and you go to the page that has the the three icons, and one of them teleports you to the horse.
Right. So those aren't lined up for you.
The click spot is not like over the
Hmm.
icon. It's I have to move my mouse like an inch or inch and a half away and just keep clicking around it till I find the spot that it'll teleport me.
Uh,
Same for Fair
Do you think that
Lease.
has to do with the font, the size of their, how you
yeah.
can change
Display
the size of
settings.
your screen?
Is your screen
That
zoomed in?
Like some people make their screens bigger so that they can see things better. It might have something to do with that.
I'm just saying, whatever my problem is, I see other people saying it's the same for them. That might be, it may be if you've changed your resolution or screen size or something.
Same for Kelly. Same for Fair Lease. Okay. That's really strange because I don't have that problem. But we can definitely look into this issue. Kelly, do you know if your screen resolution is, or is it, are you zoomed in, or is it higher? Or Fair Lease, whoever else is having this problem? Okay. Fair Leases is the default setting. Okay. Yeah, well, we can take a look into that. Thanks for bringing that up, Steve. You're on a 55-inch monitor and it's off for you. Okay.
I
Okay.
I have mine. I have a lot of stuff that I do web work on, and it's not an issue. I don't. It could be the resolution, could be something to do with the size, but I don't have that issue on other web pages on
Okay.
clicking
Okay.
items, so I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll definitely take a look at that. Haven horses, charmed, all of those things. I want to give you guys all new ones. I'll do it tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. Um, I would love, guys. You know when New Haven horses come out, they come out with updates more times, more often than not, right? As far as all those kind of things. Will there be New Haven horses? There absolutely will be New Haven horses. When will it be? I cannot tell you that. Yep, that we usually have new charmed with an update as well. We're talking horses, right? Can you have one that functions like birds? Yeah, we can do a hunt. Christmas is perfect for a hunt. Can we start a winter breeding contest? Absolutely. You guys want to do a winter? I don't know. I don't think there's enough time for a winter. I think we could do a Valentine's. You guys want to do Valentine? Let me get my note card back out.
Only if it's Valentine's and anti-Valentine's.
That was our last year, our stupid Cupid uh Valentine. Okay, okay. So let's see. Well, this time we did miniature horses. What do you guys want to do? Excuse me, next time. How about Shetlands? What do you guys think about Shetlands? Big butts? Clydesdales? Or big butt Shetlands. That's what you guys are calling big butts, right? Mini big butts is Shetlands. Giraffes. Mystiques. The thing about Mystiques is if we do Mystique, everybody's horses is going to look the same. You know what we could do is we could say it has to be on a twist coat or it has to be on a craved coat because all those both of those get traits. So we could say it could
Good
be any
idea.
horse that's a crazed. What do you guys think about that?
That's a good idea.
So um if you go to this part on our wiki, we can call it the crazy Valentines. It could be any of those coats that are listed under there. I say crazed because those are just colors. What do you guys think about that? Has to be a craved coat. We'll go with that. Has to be a crazed coat. I think you guys really liked the amount of traits that we did for the Halloweenies. Oh yeah, we could drill down even further. A Valentine's contest, Abe. Welcome. Plus,
Will
well,
you
the
include birds too?
yeah, there are crazed coats for birds, and there's no peafowls. There's no crazed peafowls, so we could make an exception for peafowls, but everything else
Or you
has
can
crazed
make
coat.
us a deer with craved so we can have time enough.
Well, I don't think we would have enough time for me to create one, and then you guys to breed and get it, and then you guys to mass produce it with the traits you want. Okay, so
I
everything else
tried.
has everything else has crazed coats. But we could pick one or two. We could say the peafowl has to be an orchid or a Kelly. I don't know, a midnight or a white. What do you guys think? I'm willing to do.
Black or white, I would go with black or white because then you can do more different garments and auras and other
Okay,
traits to
let's do
splash in.
midnight or white. Okay, peafowl, peafowl, midnight or white. Okay, has to be a crazed coat if it's not a peafowl. And then, as I was saying, guys, you guys liked the amount of traits we had to put on. I didn't hear anybody complain about the amount of traits. And go ahead and ask me how many it were, because I'll know just, off the top of my head. Let me look. I think it was, here we go. Horse has to be 8 traits. Canine has to be 6 traits. Birds and ponies have to be 4 traits. I think everybody liked that, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And we'll say has to be born from today, 10/28. Let's do February 1st. No, let's do February 8th. Let me see when February 8th is. Yeah, February 8th works because that's a Sunday. Okay. And how many Valentine's, heart, love, red traits do we think we should have? We did 2 for Halloweenies. I think that was maybe too easy. Maybe we should do 3. 3 love, red traits. 4 is too many when we're talking about the birds. Let's do 3. 3 Valentine's traits. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. This is what we'll do. Valentine's ending on the 8th of February has to be a craze coat unless it's a peafowl, and then it has to be midnight or white. Horse has 8 traits. Oh, take off the mini part. Has to be a crazed coat. Sorry about that. All right, there we go. What do you guys think? Good with that? I I
For the
will
peafowl,
post it
there
up
are not.
for.
For the peafowls, for instance, there is only two Valentine's traits, right?
Yeah, but there's other red traits like you could go
Oh,
with
okay.
the
So
cup
the
right
reds, for instance,
leg
would
or
go. Okay,
yeah.
okay, okay. Because
All
I
right.
could only think of the sweater and the eyes, so that's why I was asking. As
Yeah.
Valentine's, because we had the Valentine peafowl.
Yeah. The crazed coat Frisians because they're listed under qualified breeding. Yeah, if it says crazed in the name, then that counts. So like that is Sunfire Crazed Coat Frisian, those will count.
They have to be
So
minis.
they have to be crazed. Crazed, crazed. Like this month's qualified breeding, the crazed coat tricolor Clydesdale, those would work. It does not have to be a mini. And I will put that on the forums after the meeting and do a connection on them. If you guys have a question, if the code counts, you just write me and say, "Hey Ava, does this one count?" I answer every IM. It may take me a little while, but I answer every IM. All right. Any other questions, Josie? Is there anything you want to add?
Nope, I can't think of anything.
All right. Well, we've kept you guys for 41 minutes. Let me just say thank you for taking the time out of your day to come down here and talk to us. We are so appreciative of you guys and being loyal Amaretto customers, and we always love to hear from you and get feedback. I hope that all you guys will go over to the Fright Fest, check out those displays, put in your vote, and we will see you guys at the next community meeting, if not before. Don't forget those LEs are out till November 4th. If you haven't picked yours up, go get some today.